What's good YouTube? It's Jason back here with another video. Today's gonna be episode 2 of editing my photos. I know a lot of people really like the first one and want to give me more insights of how I use Lightroom, so I thought I would make another video. If you haven't seen episode 1, the link will be down below. Go check that out first before you check this one out so you can see the improvement and the differences that I made from the first one to this one now. If you haven't seen the last video as well, I made a Final Cut Pro tutorial showing you how to make your montage and your B-roll look cinematic. So I went to downtown Toronto again, but I didn't go to the exact same spots I went to last time. The other part that I went to was the financial district. I went to take some photos at this place called Canoe Landing. It's closer to Bathurst and Bremner Street, which is really close to the CN Tower. I also took some videos, so I'm gonna show you a montage real quick before we get right into the video. I'm on Lightroom right now and I picked these 3 photos from that day. I took an aerial shot of the streetcar. This was along Bathurst Street and it was really cool because I got it on my buddy's balcony and this is a really cool angle that I got it at. So I want to make this a bit brighter. So I'm going to pick this preset. I'm going to change the mooding to make it a bit cooler and I'm going to add some contrast. I'm going to raise the shadows here and the blacks. I'm going to add a bit of dehaze. I'm going to add a bit of texture. I'm going to add a bit of clarity as well. I also want to add the whites a bit higher. I'm only going to add a bit of saturation and a bit of vibrance to this because I don't want to oversaturate this. So what I want to do now is I want to create a mask here. I'm going to leave this mask inverted because I want to make the streetcar a bit brighter. So I'm going to raise the exposure. I'm going to turn up the highlights. And I'm going to add less contrast to it. I'm gonna make this a bit brighter because it's too dark. And before I forget, I have to also remove the chromatic aberration. I also want to crop this, press auto, and then I want to go 4:5, and then I'm gonna edit out a lot of these cars out, which is a bit difficult already because of all the cars around it. And I should be good with this one now. To crop this photo, you want to press R on your keyboard, and then 4:5 always if you want to make this a portrait. So I'm gonna turn up the highlights, I'm gonna raise the exposure, turn up the blacks, add less clarity, a bit of dehaze and a bit of texture. So now I want to take a bit of saturation away, so I decrease the vibrance and the saturation because I want to balance out the sky from the highway. I'm on my tone curve. I want to adjust the shadows so that it's a bit brighter now, but I also want to turn down the sky. Now you don't have to necessarily always rely on this line here. You could also adjust it yourself. We're at the HSL, which is hue, saturation, and luminance. I want to turn up just a bit the saturation. I'm going to turn up the orange on the luminance just a bit and just a bit on the yellow as well. Just to finish it off too, I'm going to add a gradient mask and I'm also going to adjust this shadows just to also kind of give it some balance. So to do this, obviously I'm going to raise the shadows, raise the black, and raise the exposure. This is the last photo, and there's a long exposure shot. If you haven't seen one of my videos, it's titled A Night Photography Tutorial, and that way you can learn how I did this photo. I'm gonna do the same thing, but this is gonna be a bit trickier because I'm gonna make this a portrait, and this is a landscape photo. So when you do that, it looks like this originally. Hover over, and you have to drag it so that it turns into a portrait automatically for you, and then you just wanna crop it. So I'm gonna go to one of these presets. When I add a preset to my photos, I don't necessarily keep it the same. I sometimes like to edit it just a bit more. It balances it out and it doesn't make it look oversaturated or overdone. So I'll raise the highlights a bit. I will also turn up the luminance on the orange. I will raise the blue. I will turn up the whites just to balance out the lights on the highway so that it pops out more and you can see more clearly. And there's not much else to add onto this, so I'm gonna leave it. Also, these are the final edits. I hope you really like them. and let me know which one was your favorite photo. So that wraps up the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you learned something new now. Leave a comment down below if this was helpful, if this was informative, and if it made you want to try it out yourself. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. It helps me with my channel, and it also helps you and notifies you when I upload my next video. As well, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. My links will be down below. As I say in every other video, all my content will be posted there first before I put this on YouTube. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time guys, peace out.